I'd like to welcome everyone tonight. My name is Raul Mora. I'm the current principal here. I'd like to say and recognize Mr. Dick Durham's here as well. And Mr. Dino Cunio. Mr. Joe Barron. Mr. Bob Wallace. Bert Gephardt. Agustini's here, and a lot of other pastors and deputies. I'd like to welcome anyone I forgot. But it's a great night, and we're hoping this continues to be a tradition that we're seeing every year, where we can honor and recognize this fantastic community and people who have gone on and not just modeled what it means to be a Lancer, but doing some great things and making us all proud here so that we can also live up to what you have set for us. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. I first want to introduce Mr. Jason Avina.
Alright, hello you guys. So, my dad, Armando Avina, was born on April 21st of 1973 in Tracy, California. And his parents are Jose and Elda Avina. He has one older sister, Adriana Diaz. Their family lived in Tracy, California for a few years and then moved to Lathrop, where they still reside. My dad's first language was Spanish. For kindergarten to 3rd grade, he attended Lathrop Elementary School, where he learned to speak English. He tells me that this is where he first began to be competitive. PE and athletics were how he could interact with his peers without the complication of language. It was when he felt the most comfortable in school. From 4th to 8th grade, his parents enrolled him at St. Anthony's Catholic School. This is where it really became apparent that he had the natural athletic ability, and he dreamed of one day playing under the Friday Night Lights. In August of 1987, my dad began his freshman year at East Union High School. His first freshman head coach in 1987 and final varsity head coach in 1991 was Coach Daryl Hardcastle, who is being honored. Who is being honored tonight as well. Coach Hardcastle would lead the freshman football team and varsity baseball team to several championships in his career. In spring of 1988, at the end of my dad's freshman year, Coach Jim Brown came to visit my dad and his parents at their home. My dad was only 15 years old when Coach Brown asked him to play varsity for him. He believed that even though my dad was only going to be entering his sophomore year, he could be a leader on the team. My dad's dream of playing under the Friday Night Lights were finally coming true, and he was all in with Coach Brown. My dad's varsity football team went on to beat Manteca High School twice in the same season. This had never been done before. My dad played quarterback in both of these victories and proved to be a great leader. In winter of his sophomore year, Coach Bill Stricker made a visit to his family's home as well. He also asked if he could move my dad up to varsity basketball. My dad ended this season as first team All-VOL player as a sophomore. After basketball season, he played on the JV baseball team and ran track at the same time. In track, he finished first place in the 100-yard dash, long jump, and 400-yard relay. In 1989 as a junior, my dad's varsity football team earned the VOL championship and a second place finish in the section championship. He was named first team All-VOL as a quarterback. In basketball, he was named co-MVP as well as first team All-Area. In baseball, he played center field and was named first team All-VOL as an outfielder. This was my dad's first experience with Coach Hardcastle as his baseball coach. My dad credits Coach Hardcastle with teaching him the game of baseball and the important life lessons that he was able to pass on to me. I would have loved to play for you, Coach Hardcastle. My dad's senior year, 1990, he was named MVP in football and basketball. My dad earned first team All-Area and All-State honors in football. In basketball, my dad earned first team All-Area and All-Northern California honors. In baseball, my dad was once again named first team All-VOL as a center fielder. His team made it to the section championship and lost 2 games, earned runner-up. He credits Coach Hardcastle, Coach Stricker, Coach Brown, and all of his teammates for every honor he's earned. None of it could have been accomplished without them. As a Lancer, my dad was awarded 3 high school all-star games. His most memorable all-star game was the North versus South All-State Shrine game, played in the Rose Bowl Stadium in Pasadena, California. My dad kicked 2 field goals in the game, 51 and 52 yards, breaking an old record, and then breaking his own record in the same game when he moved his kicking block back 1 more yard to set the record. My dad was named MVP of this game. The game also had special meaning because my dad had promised Coach Brown he would make it to the Shrine game before his senior year started. Coach Brown and Hardcastle, along with many other East Union coaches, players, friends, and family, attended the game to watch him fulfill this promise. My dad says he was blessed to be part of the Lancers and to be coached and mentored by 3 legendary and influential men, Jim Brown, Bill Stricker, and Daryl Hardcastle. My dad would like his name to be represented everyone who played such an important role in his life with the Lancers from 1987 to 1991. Because of their belief in him and the support of his family and the Lancers community, he went on to continue his education and athletic career. He was drafted by the Houston Astros in the 94th round in the MLB draft in 1991. He decided to take a scholarship and play football at the University of Nevada. His senior year of college, he made first team all-conference as a punter, and for 25 years held the record at Nevada for the longest career punt average. In 1996, my dad signed with the NFL Buffalo Bills as a kicker and punter. My dad's current career is as a lieutenant with the Washoe County Sheriff's Office. My dad has been a first responder for just over 20 years. As a lieutenant, my dad still gets to wear a uniform and be part of a team. He gets the same feeling he had when he wore that East Union Lancers uniform over 31 years ago. My dad might be a Hall of Famer when it comes to athletics and his career. But for me, the most important Hall of Fame wall he resides in is as a father and husband. My dad is a good man and has set an excellent example of how not to only be an athlete, but a great human. As he always tells me, none of your achievements matter if you are not a good person. My mom, brother Austin, and I could seriously not be prouder of you, Dad. Congratulations, we love you.
It's not too often you get your son, who's your favorite athlete, and thank you. It's very emotional because this school develops a lot of passion. As you see, the 3 legendary coaches that we were able to name, but there's so many of you that I thought, in 2, 3, it'll take me a year to thank everybody. Athletics has been a great part of my life. I thank my parents, Jose, my mother Elder could not make it today. My sister, right over here, thank you for all your support. My Uncle Harold and Rosie. But the best team I have at home. The best team I have at home has been my wife Jenny, my son Austin, and I thank you for Jace for presenting it as my baby. He's our baby of the family. But thank you so very much. Again, 3 legendary coaches. They did so much. This school right here Jay's mentioned it, from 87 to 91. You walk into a school with absolutely no life experience, and then you get people like that in your lives, Coach James, all of you who have been here. And you go off and you try to survive, right? You do what you can. I became a first responder, became a deputy. As a deputy is when I realized I want to coach still. How can I coach? Became a training officer, became our lead defensive tactics instructor. I wanted to coach, right? Because it was the influence that these people had in my life that I thought, how can I give that back? So I've been a lead instructor for about 17 years out of the 20, and absolutely love it. Saw a picture up here of myself in uniform, absolutely. I thought as a kid I wanted to wear any type of sports uniform I could for the rest of my life, right? But now what I get to do as a lieutenant, I have a team, and I have to be that strong presence to them. Law enforcement is changing a lot, right? When I talk to them, I know that could be the last time I see them because of the dangers of this world. So how do I stay strong for them? Well, as you can see, I love what I do, but I'm thankful for this. I wish I could go on and on. My wife said, hey, should we go talk? Too many things I would love to say. It's a great honor to be here. You know, first person I met walking onto East Union campus as a freshman, Coach Hardcastle, to be here today and be inducted with him. What an honor. Thank you very much.
Okay, next, been mentioned a lot already, but we have JT Hardcastle coming on now.
My name is JT Hardcastle. It truly is an honor to be here amongst you guys. I walked into this cafeteria and just was flooded with memories. Truly grew up here, and it's just so sweet to see you and to see your faces and for you to be here with us and celebrating Dad and the rest of the folks getting inducted. So I'll jump in. My father graduated from East Union High School in 1974, where he was chosen by his peers to be the student body vice president. He was a member of the football and baseball team here. In his senior year of baseball, he was selected an all-VOL third baseman. After high school, he left California to attend Black Hills State in South Dakota, where he was a two-sport athlete and was voted to be captain of the football team and twice voted as captain of the baseball team. But more importantly, it was where he met my mother and married her at a young age of 19. He says it was the smartest decision he ever made, and we, of course, as the children would have to. I do want to pause here, Mom, just to recognize you. Behind every great man is an even greater woman, and we are not here today without you. More recently, back in 2008, my father was inducted into the Black Hills State Hall of Fame for his athletic accomplishments. After college, now married with 2 young daughters, Dad brought his family back to Manteca, where he eventually took a teaching job here at East Union. And he actually became the first former student to ever come back here and teach at his alma mater. My dad cherished the 19 years where he taught and coached. He spent 14 of those years as the head baseball coach, winning 6 VOL championships, 2-time CIF section runner-up, and in 1998 won the first ever CIF baseball championship for his school. He was also awarded VOL Coach of the Year 5 times. He taught a very popular elective course here at East Union called Marriage and Family. And I believe it was during that time that my father was able to make the greatest impact here on the student body. In 1999, after I completed my senior year of high school, my parents made the difficult decision to pack up and leave everything they had built and worked for here in Manteca, including the hard decision to leave behind their firstborn daughter, Vonda, to move to Mississippi, to give my sister Jessie and I a home base while we pursued our athletic careers. Since leaving California, my father has continued to teach and coach and is still teaching to this day. He spent 6 years in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, where he won a district title in baseball in 2004. Currently, for the last 17 years, he has been an assistant baseball coach and football coach in Van Alstyne, Texas, where he has won another 7 district titles and helped his baseball teams toward a 2nd and 3rd place finish in state in 2016 and 19. He is still teaching, coaching, and mentoring, and has recently published his 2nd book. Not shockingly, Dad has been awarded Teacher of the Year at each of the 3 high schools where he taught. And all that being said, my father says that his greatest joy in life comes from our family of 18, us 3 kids and our spouses and their 10 grandchildren. I do want to say a huge thanks to the faculty and staff here at East Union for extending this honor to my father. On behalf of my mother and my 2 sisters, we think you made a great choice. The Hardcastles really do have such fond memories of this place. It truly was a second home to us as a family. And if we were to think back on those years of our lives, this campus, these classrooms, these fields, these gyms would all be a part of those sweet memories. I can remember as a young boy, my mother bringing me up here so that I could watch my dad teach and coach. He always had the ability to capture an audience, to get athletes to believe in themselves, and encourage students toward a greater purpose in life. And for the last 42 years, my father has been guiding young hearts and minds of high school students who we know so desperately need someone to help point them in the right direction. He gave his heart and soul to this campus, the students, the faculty, and the coaching staff for 19 years before stepping away from what most would call the pinnacle of his career, choosing his family over his job. You see, my father is the real deal. He doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk. He is the most selfless person I know. And if you've sat in his classroom for any period of time, you know that to be true. Helping students navigate the difficulties of life, showing them the path toward success, and encouraging them to keep going is what brings my dad the greatest joy. Not many children get the privilege of sharing their father with so many others the way my sisters and I have, as my dad has taught over 11,000 students. Truly, my dad has been a father figure to so many. Our family had a front row seat to witnessing the impact he's made. The letters, the phone calls, the text messages, the drop-bys, and now the social media posts only confirm what we've always known to be true. My dad cares deeply about his students, and they know it. It's never been about the titles and the accolades for my father. He wanted his students to be successful in life, not just on the field or in the classroom. Dad, you've left your mark all over this country. And I'm so grateful God granted you life. We are so proud to call you our father, and I am so proud to be your son. Not only has my life and my family and my children been affected by the life you and Mom have chosen to live, but so many generations beyond the walls of the Hardcastle home are better off because of you. You truly laid the foundation of which we now have the opportunity to build our own lives upon. You instilled in us a wisdom and a passion for doing things God's way, and I'm eternally grateful for that. Dad, almost 25 years later, the ripple effects of your service to this community of people can still be felt. You left a beautiful mark on this place, and now thanks to this honor that East Union is bestowing upon you, no one can ever take that away. Congrats, Dad.
So happens to be her
Yeah, don't say it.
29th. When Megan called me, I was driving home from baseball practice. And when I hung up, I looked in the rearview mirror, and that's when it hit me. That's why I'm here, the rearview mirror. And that rearview mirror has all these people, because that's all it is, because truly that's all there is, the people in your lives. And they are almost filled with people from East Union. Mr. Durham, you were my man when we got here. By the way, 9 for 9 in coin flips. He won the 9th one, and we ended up playing for the CIF's championship game where had we lost a flip, we wouldn't even gone to the playoffs. And that was my first year in 1986 as the head coach. When I saw these men walk in that influenced my life when I was a student here, Dino, then I saw Bob when I came back, Bob, and then Jose, who is one of the, he's just amazing. It's just Vern Gephardt, my head coach for football, and the coolest, best dresser I've ever seen in my life. I have seen, when I look in that rearview mirror, coming back, the people that have influenced my life has only wanted me. What JT says, that's the reason I want to do that is because of what you did for me, and that's why. It's like a relay race, and I have a baton. What am I supposed to do with it? Give it to somebody else, and that's my job. Mike James. That's my kids think Mike is actually their uncle. He and Dan Trulia basically are. They know the thing. Don and I talk a lot about what we had here that we have not seen since, and that's community. I love living in Texas, I really do, but I miss the people here so much because all of us, we were a community, and it was fun working alongside Bob and Doug and Brian and Eric and coaching them. To coach a kid and have him. Eric, do you remember when we won that CIF? What I told you right before? I said, Eric, pay attention, boy. Look. I had him look in the dugout, look in the stands. I said, you don't know if this is ever going to happen again. So one pitch later, it happened. Eric hits me on the shoulder and goes and dives on the pile. Ryan was there. Mike was there. Dan was there. Oh my gosh. It was terrific. And all that came from Jim Brown. Jim Brown was a highly influential person to anybody who touched his life. And we are blessed that the people of East Union extend out wherever we've gone. And that's been the truth. JT said something about behind every great man. I don't consider myself great, but I do have a great woman. And I chose her at 19. Miss Becky is here, my mother-in-law. And I know this is going to sound like a lie from hell. She and I have never argued. We've never raised our voice at each other in 46 years of marriage. She's a fantastic person. To have my mom and my mother-in-law here, pretty amazing. And to have my wife beside me the whole way, and to give me these 3 children that are phenomenal, and 10 grandchildren. I'm a blessed man, and I'm blessed because of you. And I do so appreciate you. Thank you.
Truly inspirational. Next we have Mr. Ron Agustini.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ron Augustini. I'd like to start by saying it is an honor that my father goes in with Armando, Daryl, and Nancy. These are very special people, as you've heard tonight. And my heart is full because I see East Union history right here in this room. It's a good night. Maurice Augustini, who passed away in 2009, is a community-level Hall of Fame inductee. He was one of East Union's first major grassroots supporter and a tireless force. He helped to launch the school's Athletic Boosters Club and served as one of its first presidents. He also had a hand in beginning the annual crab feed, which remains to this day as East Union's top athletics fundraising event. Augie saw, quote, he saw a need when East Union opened in 1966 and helped to get the school off the ground. He filmed the Lancers football games for over 20 years, sometimes with mixed success. Vern knows that. And he remained a passionate fan for all of East Union's teams in his entire life. In fact, he attended the girls' basketball team's games. Jim still coaches the team until a few weeks before his death. And baseball fans might remember he had a lawn chair right by the dugout, a special spot, and he used it often. A large part of his legacy is the charming ballpark on Northgate Drive. Augie used his own equipment to grade the property, and with the help of other volunteers, completed the project. And Armando and Daryl, you played on that field. In 1996, that ballpark was named Maurice Augustini Field. Augie's contributions have been felt community-wide. He served on the board of the City of Manteca Parks and Recreation Department for 16 years. He also coached youth baseball teams for 15 years. He coached Jim and me. Spring Creek Golf and Country Club was started with his assistance. He was a charter member and the club's third president. In 1982, Augie received the Friends of Education Award from the Manteca Educators Association. In later years, he also was an advocate of Big League Dreams, which is a great success in the city. And in 2001, Augie was inducted to the Manteca Hall of Fame. He lived his life on the pillars of hard work, energy, competition, compassion, and sportsmanship. He also liked to win. All three of his children, myself, Maureen, and Jim, are East Union graduates, and proud of it. Adelaide, his wife of 60 years, is ill and unable to attend, but she also loves East Union probably as much as Dad did. The East Union family is proud and honored to induct the late Maurice Augustini to the East Union Hall of Fame. We are beyond words. The ballpark was enough. This was icing on the cake. And to be with all of you tonight, it makes tonight. God bless all of you. Thank you so much. Quick story. September of 1966, first month of East Union High School. We are on the campus of Manteca High. This campus wasn't ready to go yet. Freshman and sophomore class, that's all we had. This is also the beginning of the harvest on the ranch. We're harvesting grapes, very busy time of the year. But the school was winging it. One of the first deans, Dan Schneck, called me in July. Said, Ron, you're running for student body vice president. That's the way it started in East Union. And anyway, our first scheduled football game for the wash-off team, which we had, was against Franklin High in September of '66. Scheduled kickoff, 9 a.m. Saturday morning. I told Dad during that week, Dad, we have a game at 9 a.m. And he looked at me, gave me that look like, you're trying to weasel out of work again on a Saturday morning. We need you. And I admit, I had done that in the past a few times. But he gave me a ride Saturday morning, and that night, he told me, you weren't lying to me. There was a game that day. I think this school needs some help. And the rest is history. This school has rose from that foundation. You people in the room, so many of you were such a part of it. We have too many family to acknowledge tonight. They're all here, and I'm grateful that you're here. But I'd like to do a special shout out to Dad's brother, Mac Augustini. Mac. Our Lady Lancer fans to the bone. They've been to so many games. Also, a shout out to John Moser, who's fighting a good fight. That's my sister's husband. And finally to Mom, Jim, God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ron. Continue to be an active member of East Union basketball and campus, and forever grateful for you. We also have another Hall of Fame inductee that's going to come up and introduce our next inductee, Mr. Dino Cunio.
It's with great honor that I was chosen to speak for Nancy Llewellyn. We've done a lot of recognition of members of the Boosters Club, members of the coaching staff, teachers, but you know, I had an ed teacher tell me years ago, Dino, when you start teaching, make friends with the custodian and the clerical staff. And what he told me was very, very true. Nancy started working here when she was very young, like the school. When we came out here, most of the teachers, a lot of them, not all, but many of us transferred from Manteca High, and we were promised a complete campus. We had pictures of it. And we came out here, and lo and behold, the cafeteria was in the foyer of the gym. And my first 2 weeks, and I won't delay this too long, my first 2 weeks, 3 of us taught U.S. history together in half of the library. And the kids said, well, I can't hear you. Well, that's because you're not listening. There was a lot of noise. Anyway, Nancy Llewellyn was raised in Susanville, California. And that's a real plus, because I was raised in Susanville, California. And I know good people come from Susanville. She met Ron Llewellyn, her husband, when she was going to school in Santa Cruz, and thank you. They'd been married for 50 plus years. They had Chris and Kevin, twins, and they both graduated from East Union, and they had 2 granddaughters who also graduated from East Union and were also outstanding softball players, as far as I know. Nancy loved kids, her own first, but all of them. And she was kind of a surrogate mother out here for a lot of kids. I had occasion to go in the front office every once in a while when Mr. Durham would call me in to chew me out a little bit. And I'd first of all say, Nancy, what's going on with Dick? She'd say, you're all right this time. I kind of felt good about that. But anyway, she was a people person. And one of the things when we first came out here, the faculty, and I don't know if you can believe this now, but I was young once. And the faculty was pretty young. And we all kind of related together. We had some good time at some parties. Sometimes too good, sometimes not so good. But we enjoyed being around one another, and Nancy was a big part of that. Kids wanted to go up to the office and talk to Nancy and see what she was up to. She was a people person. She liked to deal with young people. And that's something that's very important if you're going to be in a high school or an elementary school, or you're going to be around kids. Sometimes the kids didn't think I loved them so much, but that was okay. I really did down deep. But I expected certain behaviors. And most of the time I got it. Sometimes I didn't. Nancy is just a really plus for any school. She took care of the books. She dealt with coaches. She dealt with the administration. She dealt with Mr. Durham, who was very positive with her most of the time. Joking aside, she just did a wonderful job, and she was a wonderful person to have here in this union. And where is she? Oh. She is a special person, and she deserves all the attention that she gets. She's very well deserving of being into the Hall of Fame, and I just love her to death. She's just a person that you'll enjoy being around. And we still go out to dinner every Friday night, and we fight over where we're going to go. We got some people that are pretty picky. Not Nancy. Not Nancy. And I'd just like to say, welcome to the Hall of Fame. You deserve it, and you're part of the East Union history. You always will be. Thank you.
Today. A lot of East Union people have been my extended family. We're very close today. Mr. Durham was my principal for years, and we're still close. 19 years. Wow, you put up with me that long. Anyway, we had good times. You know, there was lots of fun. And there was unusual circumstances as well, but it always was a family at East Union High School. I want to tell you the 4 best things in my life were, the first one is my dear husband, Ron, back there. 50 plus years, and he supported me in time. His heart became red and blue, just like mine. And the second thing in my life was my 2 beautiful children. My son's with Augie right now, and my daughter is back here. Is Stuart here yet? Yes, and my son-in-law, Dr. Gessler. And then my next special thing in my life was my 2 beautiful granddaughters. One lives in Tennessee, and one is here, Janessa and her fiance, David. Oh, there they are. And all of them did graduate from East Union, and they all had the same color of heart, red and blue. We always will. But my greatest last thing was being interviewed and hired by East Union High School. I was 24 years old and thought I was young until I met the kids of all 17. I was old, I found out right away. And I just love teenagers. There's just something about them. Their energies, they're our future. But I did love and enjoy it. And at times Mr. Durham told me I probably spoke too long to him, but I came in very early in the morning and stayed very late in the evening to make up for those times. But anyway, this is a great honor. I think the committee, for even coming up with my name, I feel like I've won the gold medal. Thank you so much. And East Union will always be part of my extended family. There's lots of young people that I still have matured over the years and still are very close to me. Thank you very much for this honor. Thank you.
Okay, a couple quick announcements. First, I want to recognize none of this would be possible. I know the first one that had happened, the Hall of Fame, was, I want to say 98 or something. We didn't know it at the time. We were going through some of the locker out there and came across it. And Megan's idea to bring this back has been a fabulous idea, and she's been the heart behind all this, bringing the community together, calling out and reaching out, and I'm so grateful to her all the time. All the other things she does is the right-hand partner in crime, but thank you for bringing this together. And also need to thank our office manager who always comes through and makes these events happen, Ms. Rosa Souza. Thank you very much. And of course, the Hall of Fame committee, a lot of which are over in the gym. Please come over with us. It's going to be at 7 o'clock, maybe before the game-ish, depending when the Manteca East Union game ends. So if you can, give the jackets back to me again so that we can present them to you in front of the student body and the teachers who need to learn from you and about you. Grab some food and enjoy. Masks are...
Tonight, we are honored to formally welcome 4 outstanding members of the Lancer family into our Hall of Fame. All these exceptional individuals have contributed to the history and culture of Agustini High School in a remarkable way. Whether it was through unwavering community service to our school, incredible athletic performance, or by being the kind of faculty member or coach that touched every single person they encountered. We are truly honored to induct them into the East Union Hall of Fame tonight. To begin, please join us in welcoming the senior class of 1991 graduate and 2022 Hall of Fame inductee, Armando Avina. Armando was an outstanding student at East Union, earning most valuable player, all-state and all-area honors over multiple years in football, basketball, and first-team all-VOL baseball. He played in the all-state football all-star game. He made MVP quite beyond. After high school, he was drafted by the Houston Astros baseball franchise and was also awarded an athlete scholarship to the University of Nevada, where he held the record for the longest career punt average for 25 years. In 1996, he signed with the NFL Buffalo Bills football team as a kicker and punter. A highlight for him that he was playing quarterback with his varsity football team that beat Manteca High School twice in the same season, which had never been done before. Armando is joined tonight by his wife Jenny, his sons Austin and Chase. Armando, congratulations and welcome to the East Union Hall of Fame. Our next inductee is Mr. Maurice Augustini. Please welcome his family for the representing the time. Maurice Augustini passed away in 2009 as the Hall of Fame inductee. He was one of the East Union's first major grassroots supporters and a tireless force. He helped launch the school's athletic booster club and served as one of the first presidents. He also had a hand in creating the annual track meet, which remains to this day as East Union's top athletic fundraising event. The large part of the legacy is the East Union Ball Park on Northgate Drive. Augustine used his own equipment to create the property, and with the help of volunteers, completed the project. In 1996, the ballpark was named Maurice Augustini Field. In 2001, Augustine was inducted to the City of Manteca Hall of Fame. He lived his life on the pillars of hard work, energy, competition, and passion, sportsmanship. All 3 of his children, Ron, Maureen, and Jim, are East Union graduates. Adelaide, his wife for 6 years, is ill and was unable to attend. She also loves East Union. The East Union family is proud and honored to induct the late Maurice Augustini to the East Union Hall of Fame. Our next inductee is the class of 1974 East Union graduate and longtime teacher and coach, Mr. Daryl Hardcastle. Daryl was an outstanding member of the football and baseball teams while he was an athlete during terms of Vancouver as the first ever student to return as a member of the institution staff. During the 19 years he taught and coached here, his teams won 6 EUHS championships in baseball. And in 1998, his team won the first 7 championships for the student. He's awarded the EUHS Baseball Coach of the Year, and 5 times. After his time at the school, he continued on success, teaching, coaching, and he recently published his second book. For the Hardcastle, always showing them the path towards success. Not surprisingly, Daryl has been awarded Teacher of the Year at every school where he has taught. Daryl Hardcastle. He's also joined by his wife, Nona, his son, JT, his daughter, father, Jesse, and his huge extended family instead. He's super happy to have his member of the staff, and he was more happy to induct him in the 2022 Hall of Fame. Please congratulate Mr. Hardcastle. Our final inductee in the 2022 Hall of Fame tonight is Mr. Nancy Llewellyn. Nancy was raised in Manteca, California, and called in Santa Cruz, where she met her husband of 3 years, Armando Avina. They landed in Manteca in the late 60s, and she graduated from high school as a member of the classified staff and stayed here for almost 30 years. Both her daughters went to EU and her grandchildren. EU became second home for Nancy, and all who knew her loved her. She loved working with district and county personnel, the PCSA, parents, staff, police club, you name it. Nancy was always there to lend a hand. Perhaps the most favorite part of working at school with the kids, she discovered she loved teaching. Who knew? She loved her energy, her smiles, and shared her tears when needed. She loved turning to her mom when necessary. She was known for her 1971 bright orange shed pink, and was always the first one to arrive at school. Nancy believed that students hold to our future, and that being a positive person in their lives is a very important role. She always felt that to listen, encourage, and support kids was her greatest role. She wants to thank everyone for giving her this opportunity from the bottom of her heart, and that book, Red and Blue Heart. She feels this recognition is unexpected, priceless honor, and is so honored to join people tonight for her to be inducted in 2022 the EUHS Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the Hall of Fame ceremony. Please join us in giving our new members of the Hall of Fame one last round of applause.